I walked out of family therapy because my dad didn't know anything about me anymore, and hasn't ever since my step-siblings moved in 11 years ago, and now it looks like he is going to be divorcing my stepmom over it. My 18F mom passed away when I was 7. My father, aka step-sibling's dad, remarried a year later. His new wife had 3 kids A, 8M, B, 6M, and C, 3F. He said she wanted a dad for her kids and he wanted a mom for me. I remember telling him I didn't want a new mom. He said I would understand later. My step-sibling's dad basically stopped doing anything alone with me. No more camping nights in the backyard or movie nights, which we had done every week for years. Nothing. He spent time with all his new kids to bond. It's been 11 years and he still doesn't have time for me because he's bonding with them. He stopped coming to my games when I got to HS. His wife and I have nothing in common. I play 3 sports and I'm on the speech team. She's very girly and like girl trips to buy clothes and makeup at different malls. She knows I don't want to go but just tells my step-sibling's dad that she invited me. I have a teammate I play 2 sports with. Her parents have become like my own. She said she is totally fine with it. I've made sure all the time because I don't want to take someone else's parents. But she's always the one to invite me over, brings her parents to my swim meets because she knows no one will be there for me. Invited me to go shopping for Mother/Father Day gifts and says they're from both of us. Her parents get me holiday gifts and say I'm always welcome. Senior night at basketball, I told her my step-sibling's dad isn't going to walk me around the floor because he doesn't even come to games. She asked her dad to walk both of us and he was happy to. In a small town that made the paper because they thought it was sweet. My step-sibling's dad flipped out and took us all to therapy. He asked why he hadn't been asked. I said because he didn't come to games. He said he didn't know I played basketball anymore. I asked if that's why he didn't come to swim or softball when he couldn't miss it and B's practices. Or come to speech meets when he went to see dance recitals. He just stared at me and said he didn't know I still did those either. I asked why he talked for days about B's camping trip but didn't ask about my senior trip to Mexico. He said he didn't know I went. I said he signed the form. He admitted he didn't read it. I asked if he remembered the last time I called him dad. He said he didn't know I stopped. I said May 13, 2021. He said that was the day ABC started. I said I know. You stopped being my dad when you started being theirs. I walked out of therapy. Update because a lot of people were worried about me not being able to get my things from my bio-father's house and going back to therapy. Turns out it's not even necessary. After my last post, my stepmother, SM, wanted us all to go to her lake house. That's her happy place/safe space/sanctuary, she says, and it's her answer to everything. Wants the boys out? She sends my bio-father and her sons to the lake house. Time with her daughter? Lake house. Time alone? Lake house by herself. She does photography there and she's right. It does look like a postcard. 2-story cabin style. They never took me for the girls' trips or boy trips, only when everyone went together. My step-siblings won't call my bio-father dad anymore. My SM said if he isn't their dad and she isn't my mom, why are they even married? My bio-F asked if she wanted a divorce and she said she didn't sign up for the drama. They argued and we went to hang out by the lake. We've been getting along great now against the parents, which I didn't see coming. Anyway, we went back to therapy yesterday and my stepsis brought up, are they getting divorced? Bio-F said not if they can work it out in therapy. Therapist asked if it could be amicable cause it's obvious they're cold to each other. SM said her kids could see bio-father but she would just want her place. He said that wasn't possible because it's actually mine because my mom had it before they were married and it's part of the prenup. SM was livid and ugly, cried. Mad all the way home. Then asked about the house we live in. My bio-father tried to get her out of the kitchen but she screamed and he admitted that my grandpa gave it to my mom as a wedding gift before they were married. Turns out he won't let me move out because the house is actually mine since I turned 18. She said split the savings because they had been living way below their means. He told her most the savings/certificates of deposits were accounts set up for me by mom's parents. She has been crying in her room and says I'm selfish for not letting her have the lake house my great Gpa built and gave to my Gpa who gave it to my mom.